Welcome, Traveler, to Breaking Titan Quest 2. Today, we're going to be using the Whirlwind, Fire, Maelstrom, Earth, and Warfare Barbarian to absolutely mow through any piece of content. Mr. Pawn, just drive your circles around him while he's trying to somehow clap your cheeks, but that ain't happening because you're too sturdy, and you're going to burn him down. Your main skill for this will be the Sweeping Strike. I reset every single point so we can actually click through this. With one single level and one single point in, your Sweeping Strike already turns into a Whirlwind. That's it. But at this point, it actually doesn't do any fire damage already. It's just a mere physical damage Whirlwind that does kinda okay. To truly have it go off the charts, you need another 4-5 capacity for the ramp up skill. With the ramp up skill, you get another 50% bonus damage and 50% area, as the skill also costs more energy. That costing more energy is actually good. Now your Whirlwind suddenly over time becomes bigger and does more damage, almost covering half your screen. But wait, there's more. If you boost this all the way to 17, we can get rage stacks all the way up, 4 out of 5, and every stack of rage will give us 4% more damage. That's another 40% bonus damage at this point. The only other thing we do in the warfare tree is put 6 points into weapon proficiency that we can weasel out more attack speed. That attack speed makes your Sweeping Strike, your Whirlwind, hit more. The real damage comes from our Earth tree, and here you need to invest instantly 6 divinity, and as soon as you have more, go all the way up to 18. But let's check up on the 6 divinity first, what we can do here. You get Earth Enhancement. Earth Enhancement is insane. With 2 points, you can go for Fire Imbuement. Now my weapon, which formerly did physical damage, now does fire damage. And that will come increasingly handy as we increase fire damage, and the enhancement itself even more fire damage. Now this will reserve some energy away, and we're kind of depleting our energy. For this, our Earth tree has a solution as well. Bottom right, the Arcane Abundance. We're going to put 4 points in and then go for Regen. Regenerate 1% of energy per second. And we're going to put another 4 points on it and go for Cost. This will actually make your skill more expensive. That's needed though, because we're going to be playing the Flame Volley and the Ring of Flame. Both of these skills have something called Amplify. Gains 5 Amplify on use, and while active gains Amplify for every 15 energy you spend globally. If I now have the Flame Volley with 1 point orbiting around me, whenever I spend a resource, it's building up the affinity stacks. And it will then start automatically shooting out fireballs at our opponents. While I just do what I do, while it's just ramping up the DPS, gets bonus damage from actually the rage stacks. And that's not only the Flame Volley, that's also your Ring of Flame. With 1 single point in, you have permanency already. That will now also permanently have it around you. So if I hold down my button, my range gets bigger, my skill builds up more affinity, and as I said, you need to have mana cost. You need to spend mana to do this. And that's why we try to make our Whirlwind as expensive as it needs to be, that we max out on this affinity easily. To weasel out more damage, and this one should be double dipping, we increase the fire damage and the physical damage. Now my physical damage gets turned into fire damage, so technically the physical damage should go up, and then the fire damage should go up as well. On top, we can then increase the area damage we're dealing. Now, Whirlwind is an area skill. Ring of Flame is an area skill as well. And in order to take Ring of Flame to the next level, we're going to invest 5 points for Blazing Heat. Deals up to 120% more damage to enemies closer to the center. Wahahaha. It already gets 20% more damage and has 5% increased radius per Amplify. That's 20 stacks of Amplify times 20%. With 120% bonus damage to enemies at the center. While your Flame Volley orbits you, we're going to be putting more points in to now say, per stack of Amplify it has, it also deals more damage. And that would be 4% more damage. Then we're going to have it also not lose Amplify on use, because it would now lose Amplify on use, and we're going to make it orbit a little bit longer. This I want to max out all the way to 17 to get the Amplify damage maxed out, and the conservation with another point. The actual Earth Enhancement in the long run should be getting all the points full too, and put everything down here or grants an additional increased fire and physical damage. Plus then conservation to not reserve too much energy. But this is going to make us do so much more. The same goes for the Ring of Flame. Here we can go for the enhanced amplify to give it even more amplify stacks, therefore make it bigger and have it deal more damage. But we have 18 passive points left, so what do we do with these? First, we head back to Warfare as we get another 6 Divinity. And with this, you really want to get the bonus Rage effect, because Rage is just fire, and we can increase the Rage amount. So now instead of getting 10 Rage stacks for 40% bonus damage, we're getting 13 Rage stacks for even more. And we can increase our spell and attack damage, plus make our cast speed faster. And we get Spell Rage, where the total spell damage per stack is increased as well by Rage, and we increase the cast speed per stack on top. More cast speed in this case is going to have your Flame Volley shoot out faster. And since we're now going all the way for attack damage and spell damage, we have the perfect one here, the Earth Wielder. With another 4 points, we get increased attack damage and increased spell damage, and then we can increase the attack damage even further. That our actual Whirlwind is quite the damage powerhouse. Now there's also Combustion for another 20% bonus fire damage. When you kill a burning enemy, you have a 25% chance to cause an explosion, dealing fire damage in a radius. Didn't seem to be worth it for me. I just wanted to have the 20% increased fire damage, as it literally increases my all damage. And then I'd rather have like the explosion maybe deal a little bit more damage, but it's not really worth it to get all out to 8. I'd rather max out Earth Attunement and also the Earth Wielder than actually putting more points into Combustion. On Warfare, we could max out weapon proficiency to get more ailment chance. That's actually nice because my weapon does burn, and if the enemy burns, he takes another set of damage over time. And we can get the Battle Rage all the way to +8, plus our Invoker of War, also all the way to +8, for more spell ailment chance, for more burn, or even spell crit hit chance, but I guess I would go for more burn in this case. And with all of this, you're comfortably sitting at the final boss, whirly twirling in circles around him as you stay as close as possible to do the most amount of damage, and in between, just take your potions. And as you can see right now, we are stacking up our affinity quite nicely, but if we had the skill further leveled up, especially the Flame Volley, we would stack up even more affinity. So right now we're sitting like here at 9, 10, 11, and for the other one at 20. So you do want to have those bonus skill points into affinity, right? This was as easy as it goes, absolute destruction. But if my Flame Volley would now conserve better and also get even more amplified damage, I think that would be nice. For the attributes, we have him full Sending in a Might with Vigor, as you want to be as tanky as possible with big beefy equipment, having a lot of armor. For the weapon, we're looking for bonus fire damage, bonus attack speed, weapon fire damage. This one has 31% increased cold damage. It's virtually useless, and yet I'm sitting at a good amount of DPS that ramps up to the thousands with the rage value. If this would now say 30% fire damage, well, you can imagine the whole board just getting mega juiced. Which leads me finally to the most important question: how many uniques do you have already? I got the sword, the Hippocampus Scapula, and also the Dam Breaker. But there are tons more I haven't discovered yet, and the Dam Breaker ain't even good for my warrior. I want more. And don't you worry, we also have a Stormblade, Elementalist, and a Reaver to try out even more builds and break the game even harder. Check the live stream where we actually were doing this, or my review of the game. Enjoy, and have a fantastic good day. Thank you for watching.